Hey, what's going on? I filmed earlier today in my enlisted, and there were some situations going on over there. And anyway, it's just some situations, some filming situations that coincidentally somebody who I'm following had said the same thing years later. I'm not years later, excuse me, hours later. I'm like, oh, how convenient, how coincidental. Anyway, nonetheless, hold on for one moment. Actually, you know what? I think yeah, some ice actually would do me well. Love some ice. Should do some ice. I know I just filmed, but like I could do some ice. Okay. In my community page on the community board, I have this video. Excuse me. I recommended this video. It's called "The Untold Abuse of Black Male Slaves."
If you stop driving at night because of a vision problem.
The Untold Abuse of Black Male Slaves by White Women. Now, I thought this was actually an interesting video because one, white women are one of the not the main ones, it's Black women that are, but white women are like, it's like neck and neck with Black women mostly leading the line, but it's just a lot of white women are in the background because their inherent racism is just like so supreme that they're not going to be in the group chats as much, or if they are, like literally they are just they're there for like as a superficial entity, just kind of watching things and observing things, participating in things for sure. But there is another group chat I am certain of that they are being extremely racist. If not, then they are if not, so that they don't get caught and turned against, or ratted out. They have they share their own racism within their homes or within their close friends. So I wanted to go into this. I have the link to the video about the untold abuse of Black male slaves by white women. And I mentioned that the ego and self-entitlement and the hatred, insecurities and all that jazz is definitely still prevalent in these times amongst both white men and women. So the reason why I titled this "The White Stuff" is because I might be discussing white men, but I doubt it. But I wanted to go into topics about white women's opinions in regards to my life and how they feel entitled to dictate exactly what it is that I'm thinking should do with my life. It's bad enough that Black women do it. In fact, inexplicably horrific that Black women have the audacity to think that they can actually say things just because that I'm Black too, that they can just go ahead and be like, yeah, you should be our slave, and in situations like that, and try to like bully me or try to mock me and things of that nature. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. I mean, this is like, is history definitely repeating itself, and they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is a misunderstanding. No, there is a list of offenses that you have done that is literally cousin to the abuse that slaves had endured in the past. Not just slaves, but also during the civil rights movement during the 1930s. It predates to during slavery and then afterwards. So for this shit to go ahead and repeat, it definitely had quieted down, almost nearly silenced, and you would have never known. In fact, a lot of people were. I remember when they had was it Shonda Rhimes had did that TV show on Netflix. The aristocrat one and like the fancy ones, and people were just like, aghast. They were just like definitely taken aback because they were seeing Black people fancied up, wearing beautiful ball gowns and things of that nature. And they were just thinking, oh, this is definitely fiction. And I'm like, no, it's not. They had rich Black people back in the day. It wasn't uncommon. So yeah, I don't know. I remember I was speaking before about like, I think Othello's. Anyway, the point of this is, if hold on, wait, let me just verify because I hate just having to say something and like, I'm pretty sure like Othello, like before Othello being Black. Yeah. So yeah, Othello was Black. Okay. I mean, I like saying things, but I'm definitely a person who definitely likes to I like to back up what I'm thinking because I'm just like, wait, hold up, like let me make sure I'm, what I'm saying is correctly. Or even if I happen to say something, I like to, and I misspoke, or because I confuse the two. Say if I was talking about like Rice Krispies, what is it, Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and I say that Pop is actually Snap, and then I happen to come back into the video and be like, oh wait, no, I meant like, Pop is actually Snap instead of Snap being actually Pop. I do that sometimes, and I don't mind doing that. I rather be I'd rather be correct than playing a front, because I've been around people who literally will just, it's creepy. It's so fucking cringe. This is why a lot of people just aren't fucking responsible or accountable for shit. It's just really fucking, these are the times. These are the fucking times. And I noticed that very rarely, I don't even see presidents to this day doing things where they say, like, we've made a mistake or things of that nature. The only time when somebody's actually, I remember somebody actually making a mistake, and a president making a mistake and being like very forthcoming about like their errors, was President Bill Clinton. And that was actually, he was more or less like, forced to come out of it, because like, he was just, well, not like, he was definitely pressured, and then he finally was like, you know what, okay, fine, then I did it, I did the deed. And but other than that, everybody else just really trying to fold. You feel me? And like, after Bill Clinton, it was like, he was still like, I think he was actually more admired for the fact that, even though it took him a while to finally admit it, the fact that he finally admitted it, the fact that he admitted it, period. Because when you hear Nixon, it's like, I am not a crook. And that nigga got revealed, like, oh my god, it's just like, it's crazy. Like, oh god, it's like wearing a trench coat with nothing underneath it, and it was just like, no, nigga, like, you naked underneath, like, you exposed, you out there with everybody to see, like, the nads, and it's cold outside. So yeah, but like, he was the only one I really just was just like, you know what, yeah, we fucked up. um a lot of other people, you really don't see that, and that would be really nice. But people are afraid of the backlash, the responsibilities, and things of that nature. It can been anything from like a genuine misunderstanding, not like the bullshit that people are trying to, like, gaslight me and manipulate me with, because there's no misunderstanding about this shit. But there's misunderstandings that probably, presidents could have, participated in, because a lot of times presidents do happen to be puppets. Unfortunately, there are times though when they are intentionally doing this shit, knowing exactly what happened, but they want to be liked. They like the likes, and they feel like, anything is possible when you have enough people backing you up. And it's just like, damn, like, it's except for January 6th. But it's just like, yeah, it's wild. It's definitely wild. I don't understand like how people are just so fucking cowards, really, and yet expect to be respected as a leader. So yeah, yeah. Othello. And Lawrence Fishburne was, I said, no, before I had said Denzel Washington, but no, it was Lawrence Fishburne that played Othello. And but I do know that Denzel Washington had played a gentleman in one of those movies. But yeah, like, no, they really did have like, it wasn't just a story or or a fairy tale kind of thing. Like, they really did have, black slave owners and the like, and black aristocrats, black wealthy people. It's a shame that a lot of people are only learning things based off of what they see and on TV. I do watch screen time heavily, but it's only because people are definitely in my fucking business. Like, there's nothing I want to share with you bitches other than me getting my getting this all this, like, slavery and justice and all that kind of shit, like, ratified. I want to get that is my primary concern, in getting it done ASAP. So all this other kind of shit where people want entertainment, like, that all falls down under abuse, because you want to be entertained, and that's a demand underneath slavery. So yeah, and in the meantime, like, people are complaining about, like, my reactions towards this, and like, they just gonna have to deal with it because I'm dealing with it. I'm not gonna suck up and really have to go through this, which is again why I'm doing this video here. So maybe I want to just go ahead and play some of this for you right now.
Oppression. Slavery in America was deeply entrenched from the colonial era through the antebellum period, with enslaved Africans and their descendants subjected to forced labor, physical punishment, and various forms of degradation. The term antebellum derives from Latin where ante means before, and bellum means war. In the context of American history, the antebellum era refers to the period before the American Civil War, specifically the years between the late 18th century, which was after the War of 1812, all the way down to the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861. The term antebellum era is commonly used to describe this period because it captures the distinct social, economic, and political characteristics of the time, which ultimately led to the conflict and division that resulted in the Civil War. It was a time of significant growth and transformation in the United States, marked by industrialization, westward expansion, and debates over slavery.
Oh, look at that. You see that firsthand. This is what happens when my abusers, like, they get really, really pissed because I have Verizon Wireless 5G and
There's
no
one
Wi-Fi.
simple vision hack anyone can use to improve vision, so you can say goodbye to your optometrist for good. Did you know?
Oh, they
Yes,
love fucking with my
slavery.
stuff.
The antebellum South was characterized by the use of slavery and the culture it fostered. During the procession of this era, Southern intellectuals and leaders gradually shifted from portraying slavery as an embarrassing and temporary system to a defense of slavery as a positive good. And for this, the abolitionist movement, which had just come into existence then, was harshly criticized by these leaders for being in opposition to slavery. The demand for slave labor and the U.S. ban on importing more slaves from Africa drove up prices for slaves, making it profitable for smaller farms in older settled areas, such as Virginia, to sell their slaves further south and west. Most farmers in the South had small to medium-sized farms with few slaves, but the large plantation owners' wealth, often reflected in the number of slaves they owned, afforded them considerable prestige and political power. During the
Okay. I want to go ahead and wait. I want to talk more about the ladies because unfortunately, like, I don't want to. I only want to do just the intro. I'll just do the intro.
antebellum era, the nation grappled with issues such as states' rights, the expansion of slavery into new territories, and tensions between the North and the South. These factors contributed to the eventual outbreak of the Civil War. The expansion of slavery into new territories, and tensions between the North and the South. These factors contributed to the eventual outbreak of the Civil War, which had a profound and lasting.
Yo, see, okay, when you're fucking with my fucking phone, like, yo, this is crazy. This is great. Look, my hands are right here, so you see that I'm not manipulating any of this bullshit, bro.
Of control and domination by white
Oh
men
my god!
to exercise racial control over black male slaves. Possible causes of
Okay, that's not even like
varied by situation. Perhaps some of them were simply bored or sexually.
Wow. Okay, so this is something I had screenshotted too, because unfortunately, what happens is that they will go ahead and hack my phone, and I would see normally like my icons light up. Oh my god, I shit you not. Up now it was black. Up and now it's doing this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Boy, 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 boy. Like 10 minutes ago, changing how feds classify marijuana could mean big tax cut for pot retailers. Oh, that seems favorable for my abusers, considering that they are pot retailers. Definitely, like, yo, again, like I said, media and the white people. Like I said, the white people control the media and other things within this nation, and also, well, not I wouldn't say through this world, not in its entirety, but neck and neck with a lot of other countries. Hold on, let me just adjust this because the light is going off. The light is going off. The sun is going down. Okay, and I want it to be like, okay, oh, so gorgeous. Yes, I am. So, oh wait, 10 minutes ago, and I clocked ABC. ABC News with me is like Fox News. I mean, Fox News definitely had the Fox News is definitely pro Republicans, but But ABC News, I'm telling you, they are the bullies of like they are definitely bullies, and they represent they represent the Democrat side, you know, definitely. But it's just like they're bullies too. They're super messy. They really are super messy. I was watching another video, but it was a guy who was an ex FBI informant. And it was just like, if you're just as bad as the people that you go against, like no, you're just as bad, if not worse, than the people that you're going up against. You have to be just as cruel. And and by that, it's not to be confused with like if somebody's starting a war with you to go ahead and push back and be at war with them, because obviously it's about protecting yourself, your well-being. But in this case, Democrats take it just as far, if not worse, than the Republicans, and I've seen them be incredibly messy. Now, I have definitely voted a lot of times. Well, when I voted, it was for the Democratic side, and I don't see myself voting for Republicans. But it's just like, well, no, there's no but. uh, it's just that Democrats, I've seen exactly how they speak, and a lot of them bitches will be in the group chats being super messy and using the same kind of words that they would use in regards to me and what they're watching and surveilling, and then go ahead and project it at people who are either Republican or any enemy of theirs. These people are definitely, they definitely are performative. They put on a front like a motherfucker. These people are deeply disturbing. And it's not just Democrats, but I just wanted to go ahead and just expose exactly what I've observed because again, I've taken evidence of that too. So yeah, it was extremely. Oh, look at this! Now it's wanting to lag. Um, but I mean, am I wrong? And it's just like, why are you getting upset with me with something that you intentionally enjoy and enjoy doing? You you took upon this for years enjoying it. In fact, some of you guys are still doing it to this day. So why? In fact, look at this right here. Look, you do like little innuendos, like you do like little stuff that will put on the hints that you support or you try to like protect my abusers, and then you also try to come for me. Like you come for me. You definitely try to come for me, and it's just like, but you already know that I have been abused and oppressed, but it it fulfills you. Well, not it fulfills you because you guys definitely it keeps you guys keep it going with me and with anybody else like on the Lizzo. But it's just like yeah, like I see your side. I really see like I don't understand you, but it's just like, I see you for who you are. I definitely see you. You guys definitely put on the front. More so if not if not relatively close to my employees because like I see right through shit and I just want to clock it every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. It's like, what you mad at me for? Like you doing the fuck shit. What you mad at me for? It's not even like, I went out of my way to see this. It's just like you made this my fucking business. Because you was in my fucking business. You made it my fucking business. So that's what I said. That's what I said the white stuff, because the white stuff definitely includes both white men and women who have not stopped the music when it comes to wrecking up people's lives, especially people who are not them, who do not look like them, or even people who like, even if you have a drop or anything of like of them in it, it's just like if you are of another race, you are definitely not in the team. It's definitely cliquish. I'm not saying that I want to be a part of it. That's definitely not saying I want to be a part of the team. Like you, for the nosy ass bitches, like exactly what side that I grew up on, and even they want some fuck shit. But it's just like either side was definitely just a really fucked up time. So I'm seeing both sides, and I'm calling them out for exactly the shit that they try to run away from. They try to hide, and they also want to get mad at me and start projecting their hatred. Fuck out of here. Anyway, with the white women that are super in their feelings in regards to, oh, like why isn't she listening to us, and why let's start making fun of her, let's start mocking her, let's start being mean to her, but also let's go ahead and pat our little pet niggers. especially the one that we made our supposedly like, either champion or, whatever like that, the messy one who's literally also brought you down. You thought that she had actually helped you when it came to, I guess like giving you guys a green pass in regards to seeing, black people show their ass by being, racist and oppressive too. But it's just like, you guys would have had the opportunity to show, an even Steven kind of situation if you would have portrayed more about Black history in regards to what Black people did back in the day when it came to owning up slaves. Like while basically Black people were over here pointing the fingers at you, you could have literally started, exposing some more of the, the slave owners that were Black. But I guess for some type of underlying reason, you wanted to go ahead and in silence or minimize, revoke the kind of vision about Black people being at one point in seats of power, because I guess you guys took that as a fucking threat. During Jim Crow, a lot of that shit was, just kind of being erased. I saw something recently about that too. Like where it comes in like where they had like paintings and things of that nature of like, of Black people, Black slaves that were added into paintings and then taken out. And by taken out, I mean like they were painted over. And there were paintings that were recently restored, showing that it had a Black slave in it who was, probably a treasure or endeared a part of the family, not a family member, but a part of the family, until they weren't, until they were either sold or no, until they were sold, or, they probably did something, that admonished their status within the family. Or they got one of the family members got extremely jealous and decided to, either kill them or just probably so more than likely sold them, because why would you want to go ahead and try to waste, over $30,000, which is normally what a slave was back in the day. Normally this is like 10 grand or I think 30 grand. I don't know. They were very expensive, extremely expensive, which is insane. Because I'm just like, how many of these people did you have? Like this is, for some, there were literal slaves that were up to like, 10,000, like slaves were about like 10, 30K. So that was like, I don't see why you would want to. That's like literally taking a bat to your car and just being like, oh, I'll just buy some more. Like that's wild. That's super wild. Anyway, again, not all slaves, but there were, I'm just saying for the record, like there were some. Anyway, so yeah, the white stuff is definitely like people who are influencers now, and people who have like, the little check marks, not the blue check marks, but the actual check marks on Twitter, or formerly named Twitter. I don't like it. The X thing, like, come on now. I just feel like that. I feel like I'm just keep calling it Twitter. I don't want to call it, the app formerly named as Twitter. Like, this is like, you're not Prince. Like, please get over yourself. I'm just going to keep calling it Twitter. And I miss the bird. So anyway, the whole premise of this video is to talk about the white folks, the white stuff. And I know they're gonna be in their feelings, and I know some Black people are gonna be like, "Woo, she's taking a break from us." But it's just like, no. But I definitely wanted to put in the forefront about white people who heavily feel it, that they should be, kind of speaking up on my life about what it is I should do and should not do, because they are inherently racist, and they really do want to maintain the whole complacent, docile Black image. Because if they feel like they can actually get something with me, then they can get something like that with other Black people within their environment, and then even like in a more larger sense, they feel like I am their experiment. And with Black people over here trying to help them, whether knowingly or unknowingly, trying to subdue me or trying to control me, they are definitely thinking more so that, yeah, okay, well then we can just kind of silently, oppress the Black people within our community. And it's just like, wow, like again, so Black people, when you thought like, ooh, she's slave, like, ooh, we're safe. Like, no. Like, you see what you're doing. you're fucking it up. You really are fucking it up. And all the years that you thought that, oh, you were getting all these little accolades and things of that nature, it was just like, oh yeah, sure, you can go ahead and mess with that nigga. Not knowing the entire time that they were testing me, they were also going ahead to try that shit, and at home or with other people and things of that nature. So let's go back to this video that the white people obviously didn't want me to play, that they were in their feelings with, and that somebody, one of their whatchamacallits were like, fucking with, whomever. They're just like, you know what, let's just go ahead and like fuck with her stuff. Because, I don't like the fact that she's saying all this shit. It's really fucking with the vibes. It's fucking with the vibes. How dare she fucks with the vibes? I'm going to scream right now.
Sized farms with few slaves, but the large plantation owners' wealth, often reflected in the number of slaves they owned, afforded them considerable prestige and political power. During the antebellum era, the nation grappled with issues such as states' rights, the expansion of slavery into new territories, and tensions between the North and the South. These factors contributed to the eventual outbreak of the Civil War, which had a profound and lasting impact on the country. However, while the dehumanization and mistreatment of slaves is well documented, with ample evidence of sexual relations, from rapes to what appears to be relatively symbiotic romantic partnerships between white slave masters and black women in the antebellum South, a lesser-known aspect is the abuse endured by black male slaves at the hands of elite white women, that is, the planter class women. Yes, that too occurred. The planter class white women refers to a specific group of women who belonged to the elite plantation-owning class in the American South of the United States during the antebellum era. These women were associated with the wealthy plantation owners, predominantly focused on cultivating cash crops such as cotton, tobacco, and rice, and relied heavily on slave labor. These wealthy plantation owners were referred to as the planter class, while their wives, who held privileged positions within the social hierarchy of the time, were the planter class white women. However, using an intersectional socio-historical analysis, this very video delves into the often overlooked history of the exploitation and mistreatment faced by black male slaves, exploring the factors that may have contributed to the incidence of sexual encounters between the planter class white women and slave men, the power dynamics embedded in them, and their implications in terms of sexual consent. The segment further demonstrates how these upper-class white women who engaged in these relationships use sex as an instrument of power, simultaneously perpetuating both white supremacy and patriarchy during this dark era. Before we get right into this proper, kindly hit the like button in front of you, share to keep spreading these eye-opening contents, and subscribe. You just remember that all you have to do is sit back and relax while we unravel before your viewing today the uncommon story of the planter class white women and the remarkable abuse black male slaves encountered at their hands. Now let us begin. Intersection of power and gender slavery was not only a system defined by racial subjugation, but also one that reinforced gender hierarchies. While the planter class white women in the antebellum South were bound by societal expectations of femininity, they still held significant power within the context of slavery. These women played active roles in maintaining and perpetuating the institution. The authority they wielded extended to the management and treatment of enslaved individuals, including black male slaves. White women had the power to issue commands, give instructions, and enforce discipline within their homes and on plantations. It is of great relevance to note that in the American South before the Civil War, white women couldn't vote. They couldn't hold office. When they married, their property technically belonged to their husbands. But there was one thing they could do, just as white men could. They could buy, sell, and own enslaved people. In the book, They Were Her Property, White Women as Slave Owners in the American South, authored by Stephanie Jones Rogers, the historian makes the case that white women were far from being passive bystanders in the business of slavery, as previous historians have argued. Rather, they were active participants, shoring up their own economic power through ownership of the enslaved. In the past, historians had often based their conclusions about white women's role in slavery on the writings of a small subset of white Southern women. But Jones Rogers, who happens to be an associate professor of history at the University of California, Berkeley, drew on a different source this time from interviews with formerly enslaved people conducted during the Great Depression as part of the Federal Writers Project, an arm of the Works Progress Administration. These interviews, Jones-Rogers writes, show that white girls were trained in slave ownership, discipline, and mastery, sometimes from birth, even being given enslaved people as gifts when they were as young as 9 months old. White slave-holding parents train their daughters on how to be slave owners. They give them lessons in slave discipline and slave management. Some even allow for their daughters to mete out physical punishments, Jones-Rogers says. Slave-holding parents and slave-holding family members gave girls enslaved people as gifts, for Christmas sometimes, when they turned 16 or when they turned 21. There are even accounts of slave-holding parents and family members giving white female infants enslaved people as their own. There is one particular instance of a case in a court record where a woman talks about how her grandfather gave her an enslaved person as her own when she was merely 9 months old. And just how could a 9-month-old baby have known that she had a slave of her own if she wasn't told so? Apparently, she has been schooled on the ropes. She grew up knowing that some absolute authority over another has been bestowed on her, that she had some waiting property of her own in the form of a human being. Stated a poet and writer on his findings in the book, They Were Her Property, by Jones-Rogers. Such children grow up not even recognizing black slaves as fellow human beings. These exact nurturings have majorly contributed, no doubt, to the creation of highly racist and supremacist personalities in societies at large. Some deeply faulty mental structure this is, which must be destructured. A mentality that must be visited and revisited to create a new mindset, the kind that would at the end of the day see and regard all as equal. Sexual exploitation.
Okay. There's much more to go, but this is literally their video, so I don't want to play. I'm not going to play the entire video, please. This is it's called the channel's called Black Journals, and it's called The Untold Abuse of Black Male Slaves by White Women. It's in my community board, and if I can remember, I'm going to paste the link into this video at the very end, because seriously, I want to give them full credit. And also, I mean, I am giving them full credit. In fact, let me just show you this right here, right now, just so you can see it. But yeah, it's definitely, it's worth watching. It's definitely worth watching. So as I said, like, yo, people are out here really trying, no, not trying. People have really dehumanized me. They've made me into a fucking object. And they talk to me, or talk, no, they don't talk to me, but they have the audacity to talk to me as if I don't know what the fuck is going on, and then trying to make it seem like everything is cool between us, knowing good and fucking well that they've been watching me, stalking me, and then trying to sabotage my life and also fuck it up and hinder it. And there are black women. Earlier today, there was a black woman who had the gall to say some shit to try to victim blame me. It was just like, oh, all I do is just sit around all fucking day. Well, everything else that I try to pursue and to try to go to, there's literally people that are wanting to interfere with that. When it comes to money and things of that nature, you guys try to take it. Like, there are a lot of everything that comes out of these people's mouth, especially black people. They always are admitting shit. They forget. No, they don't forget. They know what the fuck it is, and they know why the fuck it is, like why the fuck certain things are that they try to victim blame me for. Is because they want to escape. They don't want to have the backlash. These people are very very cowardice, extremely cowardice. They have no backbone. A lot of the shit, well, all the shit that they make up about me would never be reiterated in front of me. Like, you know, it would have to be either, oh, as a joke or something like that, probably whispered. But yeah. So the point of that video with that white woman is just that, about white women being just as abusive, you know, about the blacks, is because I wanted to play at least one video of excuse me, hold on, just get this one. I wanted to play a video of, of one white woman who really has, you know, who really talks as if, she's not the only one. This is just one white woman who talks as if, like, she knows what the fuck she's talking about when she wants to victim blame or point the finger.
First, 2023, and you're going to put 3 retrograde. I will be using the ebook, or you don't have this and you didn't do that. Please don't argue with me in the comment section, okay? And then we bring it together. Join this beautiful soul tribe. We are growing and sustaining, right? So just wants to talk about, you know how we go and we get our physical checkups every year, or some of us will go and get our teeth whitened and get our teeth checked, our eyes. You know, we take care of ourselves in that way, right? Our health. But a lot of us neglect to take care of our spiritual health. And it's very important, okay? Because, you know, we take care of ourselves in that way, right? Some of us will go, your love, it means the world to me. I do have a quick message.
All right, so as you can see, I'm about to play this white woman, but it's just like white people collaborated with black people to form this fake ass religion, or to use not just Christianity in order to exploit me, but they made a fake religion. Some of them made cults, collaborated together and came up with certain type of practices in order to abuse me and to try to dictate and control my life. And now that I'm telling you, something really did snap, and where it's just like, okay, look, obviously I see everything for what it is, and I have no choice but to act accordingly. So with that, with people actually thinking that it's okay for them to use whatever political, I guess, powers that they have, at the palm of their hands, or, the tip of their fingers, to just dial up on whomever and be like, okay, hey, media, why don't you go ahead and show that we're in support of the darker skinned woman, the champion, or the person who, like, not the champion, but like, their little person, their poster child, really, in order to exploit me and to cover their ass, to make it seem like we're not racist. We're not racist because, we have a house nigga. You feel me? Like, you want me to go ahead and be a field nigga. You want me to be your nigga, period. You want me to be a slave. But here you are being like, trying to hide behind a black caricature looking person. And you're just like, okay, no, we're not racist. This is our nigga. Like, we like this one. This is our house nigga. Sally Sue Danielle, Pajama Kita. Just, you guys come a dime a dozen. Not even, you got a penny a dozen. Seriously, you just it's fucking wild. But this right here, when it talks about spirit and the divine, like, I see it mostly practiced amongst a lot of black people, especially on social media, but sprinkled in there are white people. And white people will try to seem very sympathetic and try to seem really endearing and things of that nature, but in reality, it's just toxic as fuck. Like, I see through a lot. It's very rare, and I'm telling you, there's only probably two, and that's really sad. There's only two white women, maybe three. I can only think of two right now, but two white women that are actually legit, where it's like, where it's like, religion, like, I was gonna say, like, racism is just, is not on my, it's like, it's not a forethought. It's just like, it's not something that I'm thinking, ooh, immediately, or it's like it's nestled in the message. No. Like, racism or anything like that doesn't seem like it's anything apart, like, of her message, or anything that's like shady or anything like that is a part of her message. Don't get it twisted. She was misled back. Like, these people were misled back in the day, but it just seems like, okay, we're really coming out into a moment where, like, we're exposing shit. And it's like, hold on. Cause I mean, I see things for what it is. Like, I'm not the person to be biased, but it's just like, as long as you're not trying to force a relationship on me, one that I said I don't want, regardless of what my abuser said that I don't want. And as long as you are not over here trying to victim blame me, then I think everything is mostly jail. Like, you can go ahead and try to suggest everything else under the sun. You don't have the right to, and it is illegal. But damn sure, as soon as you start going ahead to be abusive and try to tell me that in itself is abusive, that you wanted to go ahead and, like, break into, practically, it's like breaking into my house just to be like, oh, hey, look, like, you're using the wrong detergent in order to wash those sheets. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's that's extremely unnecessary. That's definitely self-entitled. That is illegal, and that's not even possessive, but it's just like, who the fuck are you? Like, you have no business doing that shit. I didn't invite you into the conversation. I didn't even invite you into my home, but yet here you are because you got a pass from the fucking cops who are corrupt as fuck and FBI or whomever. So, but yeah, whenever I see a white woman having the audacity to tell me some shit about about my abusers and what their feelings are towards me, or like their romantic feelings towards me, or trying to victim blame me, I'm just like, okay, look, like I already see that you are the problem. You are already the problem when you thought that you can try to dictate or suggest exactly what it is I should be doing with my life, knowing that I already have some burdens, and that for every single time that it's like, I do try to do 2 steps forward, people are trying to push me 3 steps back. And the whole sense of the fucking government in America is just like, you guys are trying to offer me some dirty ass dick that I told you I don't want. So it's like, you saw me comfortably, you saw me living. Actually, I wasn't living like comfortable, but I was living okay. Like, you know what? Like, I didn't have like any serious struggles or anything like that. You guys came into my life and decided to force those struggles on me. People who literally, everybody who was in my camp was over here asking me for fucking favors. Every fucking body was asking me for fucking favors, were wanting to hang out with me, getting advice from me, and all that other kind of shit. And then somehow, in the mix of it, you guys decided to have one of that poster child who's been jealous of me since the grade school. Somehow, y'all collaborated together and decided to go ahead and just try to like sabotage me and put me down. So every single time when it was like 3 steps forward, you always wanted to put me like 5 steps back, to the point where you actually still want to dead me. You really do. And still, to this moment, to this fucking hour, 10 minutes, ABC, NBC, which one? Because I don't want to get it, don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. Apologies. ABC itself is really fucking petty and like messy as fuck. Yes, ABC News is really petty and messy as fuck by doing like, this little triangulating shit. Like Malcolm X said, definitely don't trust the media when it comes to a lot of bullshit, because they are duplicitous as fuck. They are duplicitous as fuck. The news can be extremely biased. The news can be extremely, extremely biased. And by that, I mean that all you see is a symbol, but in that symbol, like all you see, if you see ABC News or whatever kind of news channel, you see a logo. But within that logo, inside is a whole bunch of people, literally, a whole bunch of people that have access to stalking me and whatever little camera or website or anything like that. They have access. They are getting clout. They are getting funds. They are getting, they're capitalistic, opportunistic. They are, having the time of their life, having these little power egos, those little power trips and things of that nature, getting joy and getting some type of benefit off of my oppression. And then having the audacity to hide behind fucking said logo, hiding behind a fucking image in order to pretend like, they are they are just, they are fair, they are all seeing. When really, they really just, they step in line to whomever who tells them, okay, post this now, post that. In fact, they don't even have to really get the orders. As soon as they see me on the way how I respond, that's when they react. That's when they react. They don't act on fairness, and they don't act on equality. They don't act on true leadership or genuine compassion or being ethical and moral. They act on opportunity. They act on power and maliciousness. It's all power plays. It really is. It really fucking is. Because even some of the murders and things of that nature, like, definitely, they don't have anything to do with it. But in the shadows, they do work with people who do that shit. So, like, it's like in a neighborhood, basically. They work in the neighborhood, or they live in the neighborhood. Like, like figuratively speaking, they don't actually live in the neighborhood. But I'm saying, like, within that little group, there's somebody out there going ahead to just like do some, the foul shit. And they're pushing that fucking message in order to go ahead and manipulate people. Some real shit. So, yeah. And I've clocked it. I've clocked it so much where it's just to the point where it's just like, I'm speaking it up for it now because I have enough to say. So now it's in a moment where people are just like, oh, okay, now, you want to go ahead and try to discredit me. You want to try to discredit me because you were over here thinking that, you can just poke, 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 poke. And, you have like several fucking holes, but all those several fucking holes, I'm over here literally like taking out the gauze, taking out gauze or whatever like that, enough for you guys to just, make a fucking barrier and wait for this shit to clot up. And while you guys are over here like, oh my gosh, like what the fuck? So like, and it's also can be doubled as a weapon. Where it's just like, okay, no. And so people are doing the most. Like there's a whole bunch of character assassination. They're trying to do an extreme slanderous campaign in order to silence me, but in all reality, it just definitely exposes them. Now, here's the thing though. It's like I'm not working or I'm not doing this on behalf of the audience in order for them to try to appeal to me, because I've already understood that the audience works on what serves them. And I thought what serves them is what serves us all. But unfortunately, these people are very opportunistic, capitalistic, and malicious also. So why would the fuck would I actually try to use my time to care about abusers as well? You feel me? So yeah, it is not my interest or my concern to go ahead and keep this going back and forth, because people have definitely show their asses. Show their asses. And a lot of them are white women. A lot of these white women had used my words in order to go ahead and speak up for, either Amber Heard, who is the Amber Heard, Angelina Jolie, Britney Spears, anybody who's white or anybody who they just wanted to speak up for. Sometimes they did go ahead and speak on behalf of the Black women too, but it was just like, or anyone that was a female, but it was just like, you use it to your advantage on the back of me. You were extremely like, it was definitely racism, I'm telling you, where you guys collaborated together thinking, how can we be racist when we literally are, affiliating with Black people? And it's just like, this is literally what happened back in the day. White people had made contracts and agreements with Black people, and they were oppressing Black people. And you were thinking that, oh, you're in agreeing, you're okay, but no, you were literally doing the same shit that happened back then. You know better. You really know fucking better. There's no misunderstanding. So when I hear this white woman and other white women, I'll play them too, where it's just like, you're trying to victim blame me. It's just like, no, bitch. No. I had mentioned before about my eyes, and I've taken pictures before about the things that have happened with my eyes in regards to, my abuse. And people were also talking about like, my teeth. And I'm just like, all right, look, I've mentioned that too a few times in my videos. So right now my focus is to put all this not into just like kind of one video, because I think it's going to be too big. And there needs to be different types of segments in it. But I want to just focus on a video where it just kind of sums up everything, because there's no back and forth with me anymore. There's really like no back and forth. It's just, this is what happened. This is where people literally fucked up at, and these are my reactions towards it. So, no justice, no peace. And you should respect that, considering that you guys are going through a war right now overseas on behalf of like another country, a partnering country, who's not officially a part of the UN yet. Are they? Because actually when they started, it wasn't. It was like silently, it was like a blurb. It was literally an asterisk. And then it, boom. But because I guess so much money has been funded to it, it's just like, a different type of tune you guys are playing. Anyway, go ahead, white lady, speak.
Spirit wants to talk about, how we go and we get our physical checkups every year, or some of us will go and get our teeth whitened and get our teeth checked, our eyes. We take care of ourselves in that way, right? Our health. But a lot of us neglect to take care of our spiritual health. And it's very important, okay? Because as well as our emotional health. Spiritual and emotional health is basically our moral compasses. Okay, and if you want to be truly happy and healthy, we have to take care of that part of ourselves. Okay, so we need to integrate this into our daily lives. It's just like regular checkups and dental appointments and stuff like that. Mental growth. We get our mental growth from school, right? We learn in schools and stuff like that. We get our physical growth through our doctors and our sports and being active, taking supplements, whatnot, right? Eating well, sleeping well. But our emotional and our spiritual growth, we really need to work on. There's no school for that. Okay, they don't teach us how to do that, right? And there's a reason for that because, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. Okay, you don't have to agree with it. The powers that ought not be want to keep us regressed. They don't want us progressing. They don't want us elevating and evolving. And to elevate and evolve, you really need to work on your spiritual and emotional growth. You know what I'm saying, right? So, I mean, then you become sovereign. You know who you are. You know thyself, and you know what's wrong and what's right, and you're confident. Okay, you grow and you elevate, and they don't like that. So, if I mean, look it up online. There's a lot of information out there. Spiritual growth, emotional therapy is one way. Mindfulness courses is another. In my community, they do the mindfulness courses. They're free. I think you might need to have a prescription or a referral, but I think they're free. Check your libraries, check your community centers in your area, and see if there's any mindfulness courses going on. And cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay, so since she's talking about going to like your library and things of that nature, I know for a fact that she's not talking to my abuser, who still has a lots of money based off on my exploits. In fact, every single day there's a check being made that either goes towards that is probably goes towards them in a certain type of like amount. So yeah, saying things of that nature and trying to think like therapy and pardon me, guys. Therapy resources like that are going to be a solution to the ongoing abuse is so fucked up. That's definitely gaslighting. First off, she already called herself that she reports to spirit. So this is obviously somebody who's a part of a cult who believes in going ahead to watch me without my permission. And I would imagine that spirit is the one who is giving them the permission to watch me illegally. So this is definitely a church affiliation, a church affiliation that is partnered with the government and government organizations, and they gave in themselves some type of name under like an LLC or a business, and they go by a pseudonym of like the spirit, divine, and things of that nature, in order to allow people to access my I guess like my surveillance cameras or anything like that, like my Wi-Fi, hack me and things of that nature, and then provide keywords because they probably have agents in order to watch me. They write down things. As keywords in order to go ahead and reiterate to me, in order to try to provoke me, in order to try to also for them to make money based off on what they off of what they observe. So there's some words that they can talk about, there's some words that they can't talk about, there's some words that they want them to definitely focus on at my expense. So it's either like not just basic rundown cops, it's FBI, CIA, there's probably other secret service kind of agents, in order which there are people sitting down in a group, having weekly meetings, if not daily, like mini ones, to go about discussing exactly, what kind of things should be said, what kind of like plans that they and intentions that they have for me, what kind of things or what is it? What kind of I guess scenarios that they want to go ahead and orchestrate between like an exit plan, exit strategies, um, pitfalls, things of that nature. Those are something that's private. They're not going to share with people like this. Come on now. And amongst people who are elite and of a certain type of tax bracket, those people are definitely threatened. those people get more of access to exactly what it is that I'm going through. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure that they have like a certain amount of people that are also probably gang stalked, but only but they are not allowed to really like be believed or anything like that. Anything like, again, I'm the test dummy, and I'm shown from the masses, and I'm pretty sure that people are like the people that are in the CIA and things of that nature are just like, no, 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 don't worry, it's not gonna be you. We're just on her or something like that. Because again, if that was the case, then you guys would have been quickly moving on to somebody else. But no, you guys have made me your focal point, and I could care less about what it is that you admire about me because you guys are all abusers. So yeah, this woman saying that she gets her words from the divine or spirit is really just a code name for something from some type of like church group that is a business really secretly formed within corporations corporations and the government, and they're using it to. I know this sounds really crazy though, but it's just like I've also witnessed people try to like mimic me and try to discredit me, but it was just like at the end of the day, are you or are you not watching me from surveillance cameras? Like, are you not? Like, how did you get here? How did you find out about me and things of that nature? Like, it's just like you obviously know that I'm not going along with this. You obviously know that anything that I think of or I do, I'm doing it fully because you guys I've had enough of your shit. I really had enough of your shit, and I cannot take it anymore. So I mean, I'm moving accordingly, but you guys are watching me obviously 24/7, and it's just like I have to keep things to my chest. I do, because I mean, for what it's worth, like I told you so, and I've literally like you should know better. Okay, this has been severe abuse, um, that was undeserved. It was really undeserved. There was nothing that I did in order for you guys to have done this, but oh, you can bet that my reaction to this, because you guys want to keep delaying this shit, and you might want to try to make yourselves feel justified, be like, okay, well now she's doing like this wasn't some shit like you raised my taxes. This wasn't some shit like you raised my taxes. No, you took it upon. Look at this. You see this? It's already starting to like lag and things of that nature. You took it upon yourself. You took it upon yourself to abuse me, harass me, mock me. You invaded my privacy. You experimented on me. You medically gaslighted me. In fact, right here, this is actually medically gaslighting me, because you're telling me like you are emitting information about you being the focal cause, like you being a participant in my abuse. But here you are trying to tell me that I should be responsible about how to fucking deal with it. I didn't volunteer for this shit. Let me hold on, wait, because I thought I had my other wait, I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, these little speeches and whatnot like that, like I don't Later. So I'm like, for why? For why? And it's like, I mean, you see different types of photos and things of that nature of, black people being, overrun, not overrun, but overruled by whites. And I have a photo, wait, hold on, I have a photo here. It's just like, slavery wasn't a fun time. And oh, wait. Oh, wow, is that one of the information? All right, look, simply put, it's not that white women have the audacity, white women have the stupidity. And they think that, being in their femininity makes them a fucking a victim. Like they'll do some really fucked up evil shit and then they'll, be like, oh, but I'm a woman. Like, and then what the fuck are we? Just because we are a different color, like what the fuck are we? I don't appreciate because black women also, they have that fucking ignorance and entitlement to do some stupid shit in which they have fucked up so catastrophically. And then think that, you can just be like, oh, but I'm a woman, I'm a mother. What about our kids and things of that nature in order to try to play victim? But it's just like, you've been for years, for nearly 2 years, you guys have been oppressive. You guys have been so fucking abusive. There's nothing valuable or endearing about you, really. And the only people who would try to have a connection with you are the people who are similarly, like, as toxic and oppressive and abusive as you. And you might want to try to point your fingers at me and then try to pretend like, you're fake sympathetic. Like, oh, well, maybe it's because she was going through something. Or you would lie and be like, oh, well, it's related to like, her trauma because, you'll say something that I've already mentioned that wasn't true. And I've already exposed a lot of stuff about like, my fucking childhood. And that wasn't good enough. So you guys had to further lie about it. In fact, you guys were probably adding some of your fucking traumas to my fucking story. And I'm not going to say whether or not, like, I'm not going to say yes or no to any of the claims that you're making because you guys should have cared a long fucking time ago. The moment that you guys had the opportunity to stalk me The moment that you guys had the opportunity to say yes or no in regards to harming me and harassing me, that was the time that you guys should have been responsible. That was the time when you guys should have said, hey, look, like this shit is wrong. Um, again, I seen the way how you guys support criminals, and yet you know that this right here wasn't justified. So anytime when you're over here like pointing the finger at me, and I know that you guys were literally pointing the finger at me quite a few times today, and probably within the past few days, you guys were really wanting to try to like crucify me, but nothing will overshadow the fucking abuse and illegal crimes that you've done and that you guys have allowed, the kinds that you've made excuses for. I want to stay on topic. I mean, I am staying on topic, but I mean, I just, I don't want to stray too far away from the white women who really just, had the audacity to just open up their fucking white ass lips and be like on some dumb shit. Like, there's moments where you should actually speak from the heart about, injustices and not try to cherry pick the shit so you can be a super toxic, abusive ass bitch. Because then it's a moment where it's just like, for you to go ahead and say that at a moment where I'm seriously at a disadvantage about some shit that should be legal. No, this is legal. My justice is legal. It's a legal situation I deserve. My privacy is definitely something that I deserve because it's not just, it's supposed to be something I have. You guys are breaking a fucking law in order to do this. Not even the Patriot Act is justified in order for you guys to do what you're doing, but yet you're doing it. So for you guys to just go ahead and open up your mouth and try to act like you are being sympathetic and that you're trying to advise me or counsel me or try to make excuses while you're really just omitting and lying to yourself about the bullshit that you've done to my life is sick. It's really fucking sick. Like, I hate you. I hate a lot of you white people. I really do, because you guys, like, I hate a lot of you white people. I said it before, and I hate a lot of you black people because you guys have, for many years, this is who you are. And I will never let you forget it. I will never let you forget it. For as long as you keep doing this shit, I will never, ever, ever let you forget it. So that's why my focus really isn't to do these videos as much anymore. I want to just go ahead and have another video and just always play it on loop. I swear. So every single time when you think that you're watching me or you want to try to find a connection, I want to always have the video that I have that I'm going to be posting, the videos I'm going to be posting. I want to always have those on a loop, so you can always be reminded. Always be reminded of yourselves until justice comes. Like, seriously. And even then, but still, like, like, I don't have to do this, day to day. I mean, I won't do this daily, but I will definitely do it often because I want to have, like, maintain a sort of a newscasting of my own where white people, black people, and non-black people are just being so fucking contradicting, hypocritical, and blind to their own fucking mess. So yeah, I definitely want to. I want to help you. I want to help you see yourself, and I don't want to give you any type of hug for that. You have your own little toxic crew to hug, and whether or not you try to pretend like you're okay with it, it's just that if you pretend that you're okay with it, but then you go ahead and try to point the finger at me or point the finger at anybody else, I want to be able to have this content so that way you can look stupid. That is me. That is my aim. And it's not. And the difference is that I don't have to lie about it. This is who you are. This is who you guys are. So yeah, telling me something about like, okay, needing therapy and this, that, here, and the third, that seems like something that you guys need to do. You need to have therapy because you have a problem if you are so fucking obsessed with me that you have made an excuse to invade my fucking privacy and that you want to try to dictate a grown ass woman who you don't even help. You don't really help. You're helping yourself. You want to go ahead and try to fuck up my life. You want to try to bully and harass me. Then you want to try to mock me, talk in the group chats behind my back and try to control me. Like, not even like I'm a fucking doll. You want to emotionally and just physically manipulate me. And then you want to blame me for how I'm responding. And because you're breaking several fucking laws, but the main ones are human and civil.
It's very helpful, even if you're of sound mind. It's always good to take these courses. It's an eye opener, okay, as to our thought processes. The way we were raised. We always done it this way. I never knew this wasn't right. It opens your eyes to a brand new world emotionally. It's not.
You hear that? You hear that? Like that ego shit. Like, oh, she doesn't know any better. Why? Because I'm black. Or you guys have to make up a fucking fake ass storyline about my history and be like, okay, well, yeah, she was just, she grew up in the fucking streets in the hood. She probably was in a corner or something like that. Nah. And I'm not even gonna tell you exactly like how I was exactly raised, because one, I had already told you. Two, you don't even give a fuck anyway, because you shouldn't even be in my fucking business. Really, in order for me to get justice, you shouldn't even be that much in my fucking business. But this right here is definitely gaslighting. This right here is gaslighting. And it's sick because it's a white woman. Like I said, like, yo, these white women really be on fucking one. And some of them won't care because, they'll go home to their racist, white, black, or whomever husband, partner, because, they can be gay or anything like that, though. But they just go home, or to their crowd, or to their family that's racist too. That'll just be like, oh, just ignore it. And that person's racist. So you're going back into your toxic cycle of abuse. And it's gotten to the point where I don't, you know better. You really do. Like, you really fucking know better. So I don't even need to keep saying this. And that's why I don't. That's why you saw me going for a couple days. Because I was just like, look, I was really working on other things. I'm just looking at just how inherently evil you guys are. But you pretend to be good, but you're not. You pretend to be oh, you're just so love and light and all the other kind of stuff, but you're not. You're evil. Okay? And sometimes a lot of times you guys try to make it seem like, oh, evil and chaos is good, until that shit happens to you, until that shit happens to somebody that you like. Look at this. Y'all death would be just so fucking just beautiful. I'll really be one fucking one. For real. Y'all pathetic. Y'all really fucking pathetic. There will never be a day where I find any of the bullshit that you're trying to tell me to be understanding. I can't emulate with a lot of you bitches, and I can't be sympathetic to any of this. I'm definitely disconnected to a lot of the bullshit that you're saying, because I can see through it. It's very transparent that you don't genuinely give a fuck, that you are actually extremely unethical and you're very immoral. And so I have every right to act out exactly how I see fit. And you're gonna do what you're gonna do anyway. But it's just what, I at this point, I really don't give a fuck. It's just it definitely needs to be met with just I'm definitely need to just turn up the juice.
Not religion, it's not spirituality, but psychology. Working, because it boils down to a 3. It's an empress in the upright and the reverse. I'm not sure. We'll find out. This goes. Okay, there's beauty in everything. Believe it or not, 40. It boils down to a 3. It's an empress in the upright and the reverse. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Maybe you gave too much of yourself. People walked all over you, used you as a doormat. Okay.
Is it up? Which timeline are you talking about? I really want to know, which timeline are you talking about? It's saying that I'm supposedly was used as a doormat. When did I make this channel? It was in 2018 that I made that channel, but 2020 that I had cut people off. No, excuse me. 2020 that I cut a lot of people off. 2021 that I had cut the remaining people off, and since my 20s, I've been cutting off people like hard. When I was an adult in my 20s, in my young to mid 20s, I was cutting people off. Like as soon as I had left as soon as I had left the house that I had lived in previously to move over here, I was cutting people off. I was just like, okay, no, no, no. You will not be treating me this type of way. You will not be treating me this type of fucking way. So I had moved out. Once my grandmother had passed away, I had moved into this place. I had acquired this place. I had fixed it up. It was all my money. And then on top of that, it was just me. I definitely had still had a connection with my father back then. But then I had even cut him off because he was coming at me sideways. No thanks to, thanks to that bitch. So not this white bitch, but like the person who's literally been whispering in people's ears. You can't try to gaslight me and make it seem like, I was a doormat. Like you guys are fucking projecting and trying to victim blame. But it's just like, this shit is not going to stick. Why? Mainly because I have a fucking channel here and it shows consistently that I don't fuck with you bitches. Also because I have videos on here where it shows that I have court where I have literally a judge saying that we cannot be in communication with each other because that would be going against his fucking sentencing. No, not sentencing, but it would be going against his fucking rules because I requested a no contact order. You keep listening to my abuser because you are an abuser. It doesn't trigger me when you are saying things like, oh, the spirit, oh, the divine, oh, this insert this type of lie, oh, insert this type of abusive thing where you're trying to pimp me off to my fucking abuser. Like it doesn't hit, shit doesn't hit like it used to. And this doesn't happen to be like a disconnect. This is me being at a part where it's just like, I see you for what it is and I'm going to act accordingly. And yes, you could be on the list. You're not on that list, but you could be. You really saying a lot of fucked up shit. And it's just like, people like you don't need to fucking exist anymore. They really don't. They really don't. I'm telling you, the world would be in a better fucking happier place when people like you either shut the fuck up or are shut up. And that's some real shit. That's some real shit. So when you come at me, you don't even come at me. When this shit is passive as fuck, it's just like, well then what the fuck? Like it's so crazy on how people would think that all of a sudden I'm the fake one, but you guys are literally imitating me. You feel me? It seems like in a situation where, of course, I'm not going to reveal myself to you when it comes to like the softer side of Shalise because you don't fucking deserve it. You can get customer service voice, and I think we all know what customer service voice. You bitches be lying to yourselves when you be like, "Oh, I'm me," like 24/7. Like, yes, well, no, I was gonna say we all are me. Like real people are definitely themselves 24/7, but it's just like there's different types of tones and different types of energies that you get with certain type of people. Like I'm pretty sure you do not meet your enemy the way you would meet, I guess, a friend. You don't be like, oh hey, what's going on to your enemy, right? If you don't like that person, you're not gonna be like, oh hey girl, no. There's different type of tones, there's different type of energies that you would give in exchange to people. So when people are telling me that, or no, not telling me, but when people are passively trying to project their own characteristics, their own toxic behaviors, saying that, somehow my tone or my voice and things of that nature is supposed to be fake, I'm just like, no, bitch, you are who you are. Like, I am me 24/7. I really am. I really am. You should know you fucking watch me. You're over here mimicking me and things of that nature, clocking me and criticizing me, projecting on me and lying on me. You watch me. You know exactly who I am. But because you hate that, you hate who I am, you want to go ahead and distort that image, even to the point where it's like you almost believe it yourself. But then you remember that it's a lie, so then you hate yourself even more, but then you rather project it onto somebody else, because if you hate yourself, then you would be exposing about like other people you would have valid reasons for other people to hate you, besides the obvious reasons. You need people to actually help victimize you, to take sympathy on you, because you're over here trying to victimize yourself in the midst of you being, a fucking monster, really. Jeez, that's some heavy stuff. But it's not my problem. It's really not my problem. So Yeah. And like, oh yeah, we see how she has like different voices. No, 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 no. I'm not over here trying to act like, I have I'm from Africa. I mean, I'm definitely a person of African descent though, but I'm not saying I'm not a person who's trying to act like, I'm a first world generation, straight from Africa. Okay. Like respectfully, don't get it twisted. I hate my family members. I don't want anything to fucking do with them. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and spit on my fucking lineage. You feel me? Like I'm just gonna say exactly what it is. Like, and just be done with a lot of people. Some people literally were like, they decided to change their identities. They decided to change their faces surgically, and I mean, and body parts. They decided to change a lot about themselves surgically. They were willing to sell their souls, and they were the ones who also changed like who they are, as far as like their, not just their tone. They were the ones who changed their entire being. Like I don't even know exactly like what it is that they could actually enjoy besides being, evil. And then it doesn't really seem like they want to be like they even enjoy evil, because if that was the case, then it's just like, I think life would go a lot more smoothly for them. But it's just I don't know, they just seem always so troubled inside. And that's just really fucking crazy. Like if I don't know. Either you lean into it or you don't. And right now, I know where I'm leaning into, and it's justice, baby. It's justice. Like y'all try to see me as one fucking way, and it's just like no. I'm literally doing what I must. I'm doing what I must because I'm not carrying these fucking burdens for you guys. And I never said that I wanted to. I never said that I wanted to. So when you said that you're calling me a doormat, it's just like you're projecting, bitch, and you're projecting, and you're also trying to gaslight me. You wanted me to be a fucking doormat. That's crazy, right? That's so fucking crazy. That's like literally you taking me from, let's say like in back in the day where you would try to take my ancestors from their land, force them into slavery, and be like, well, you wanted this. You wanted to be a doormat, And just like, oh, now you speaking up. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, I've been spoken up. I have archived videos. I have emails. I have court proceedings. I have more emails trying to rush this fucking mediation and things of that nature. You were the fucktards. You guys were the fucking idiots that were literally telling me like trying to fucking play me. And once I helped people and I saw you guys for what it is, I treated you just like I treated everybody else. Where it's just like I'm cutting you off. I don't want anything to fucking do with you. I was the one who was being fucking responsible. I took accountability. It was just like, okay, well, see, I see where this goes, and I see how I gave you patience, but I don't want to give you patience for obviously too long. I don't want to believe in the bullshit that you guys are trying to feed me. Okay, I see it for what it is, and you guys were like, no, you guys took it upon yourself to be like, no, you must still do this. No, I'm gonna call that out. I'm gonna call that out, and I also have videos to back it the fuck up. In fact, this bitch was literally the other day, she was saying, like, have patience, be still. You know, you guys would say, like, I'm over here trying to be a doormat, but then you bitches are the same ones saying, have patience, be still, the divine. And then you'll try to guilt trip me because I don't practice your fucking religion. And then you try to be like, oh, well, okay, then she must be the devil. Which one is it? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys seem just really the divine or the spirit sounds really fucking broke. I mean, he's not just broke, but just like, greedy, selfish broke. That kind of broke. Because you guys are just repetitious about, the same old fucking bullshit. Just using it in your fucking like, laundry bag of like tactics. It's old. It's done. It's not working. It's ineffective. You need new shit. And it's just like, even then, it's just like, it's just really too fucking late because enough eyes have seen it. And most importantly, I've seen it.
You could be a mother, it could be a pregnancy, it could be a divine feminine. We'll see which way this goes. Okay? That's the overarching energy. Bottom of the deck is the underlying energy of beauty. 440. It boils down to a force, emperor, father, mother. And we'll see which way this goes. Okay, there's beauty in everything. Believe it or not, there's beauty in everything. Especially like I said, if you take these courses and you do that inner work, that soul work, because that's what it is, you start seeing the beauty in everything, how the divine works things in your world, how it's all work, that soul work, because that's what it is. You start seeing the beauty in everything, how the divine works things in your world, how it's all worked, what you went through, good and bad. It was for a purpose. Believe it or not. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. It's like, I could have done without it. That was painful. It was the worst time of my life. I know, and I'm not making fun of you, okay? Been there, done that, okay? I still have some resentment that I have to work through. But the point is, the simple fact is it was meant to help.
You know how crazy that sounds? It's like, you just dismissed my fucking abuse by comparing it to yours. You minimize my abuse, my severe abuse. This is literally modern slavery. Modern slavery and a bit of just humiliation. Definitely. Pardon me. Oh, yeah. This was modern slavery. And under modern slavery is embarrassment. And you guys also experimented. You had Jewish people, Black people, white people. I mean, white people are Jews are white people, but it was just like, white. But it's just like you had other people that were white. You had Jews and you had Black people collaborate together, share your fucking historic oppression situations, and use that on me. You made fun of me. You mocked me. You did a lot of shit short of killing me and putting me in a fucking this right here was like okay as like a prison. He's like, as long as she stays inside or something like that, where we can always see her and things of that nature. You want me to go outside only so that you can try to be near me and so you can actually talk to me. But it's like, no, I don't want anything to do with you bitches. I really don't. Which is understandable. It's common fucking sense. So yeah, white woman, it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, why am I going to try to sympathize anything like you're going to say? And you're over here literally trying to victim blame me with a fake ass religion that's been exploiting and being capitalistic. And it partners with fucking newscasting, news channels, corporations, and things of that nature in order to either mock me, further exploit me, and I guess go ahead and puff up the poster child and try to control me, try to be domineering. I see right through you, yo. I see right through you.
Elevate you. We're all here for a purpose to evolve, and the quicker the better.
We're all here for a purpose to evolve. Modern slavery wasn't, obviously it happened for, well, actually, it happened to. Okay. That's different. I was gonna say about slavery in general. I mean, I think it was happening since Mesopotamia, Babylonian times. Definitely, it was recorded. It was definitely recorded around Babylonian, Mesopotamian times. I have the content somewhere. I will definitely try to confirm that later on. But anyway, it's just like, as soon as we got on the boat and over here, we have been slaves. And by we, I mean Black people, Native Americans. As soon as people came to America, boom, slaves. They enslaved Native Americans. They brought slaves over from Africa over here. Then they decided to free the slaves. Then Jim Crow decided to segregate, make a huge line. It was just like a point made it very clear. It's just like, hey, look, just because you're free, you're still not one of us. Okay, you're still low level. You're still low tier. At that point, people who were once, slave owners and things of that nature were like, revered as, as inferior. They were deemed as inferior. They were not respected anymore. They weren't. Like, even if you had money, you had some type of respect, but then you were still seen as inferior. Cause see, like even with celebrities or like music stars and things of that nature, like they were, they had the money and things of that nature, but they still had to go in the back. They still had to drink at a certain type of they still had to use a certain type of bathroom. They still had to, like, yo, that's so fucked up. And that's so fucked up. Because at a point in time, black people and white people were over here colluding and things of that nature together over here, sharing the whole what is it called? Uh, Damn, I'm really just like not on one right now. Damn you, Mercury retrograde. But it's just like nah. It's just like you guys were definitely on one. It's the whole part and whole situation of you guys collaborating or just living amongst each other, still owning slaves. And while you were still owning slaves, you guys weren't seen, like there was no really confusion as to you being kind of like inferior. Don't get it twisted. Like there were racisms, but racism going on though. But it was just like you aren't, for some weird reason, not for some weird reason, but for some reason, people were able to still like see black people as black slave owners as human beings. If you weren't, then you were property. You were a thing. And the thing is that also there were white slaves who were seen actual like humans instead of black people, instead of black slaves. And I'm just like, goddamn. Like seriously, goddamn. It's wild. It's super wild. I'm just really over it to the point where I really even talk like don't even want to talk about it. I see it for what it is, but I do want to call it the fuck out. Like all the white stuff is just, it's done. It's seriously done. And trying that shit on me is just like, no. I'm calling it out for what it is. And like the shit and the offense has been so fucking loud. Like, how are you ever trying to make yourself a fucking victim? And to whom? The only people who would ever try to victimize you are the people who were participating in this fucking abuse. That's why you guys are trying to keep telling me that, oh, just to like let it go and shit like that. Because you don't want to be in trouble. You don't want to be in trouble. So yeah, get the fuck out of here about that whole doormat shit. Like you wanted me to be your doormat, which is why you always speak on my behalf.
I'm just that type of person. Hurry up and rip that Band-Aid off. It's gonna hurt, yeah, but it'll be.
And it says like the evolution. Hold on, just one more time.
I still have some resentment that I have to work through. But the point is, the simple fact is it was meant to help elevate you. We're all here for a purpose to evolve, and the quicker the better. I'm just that type of person. Hurry up and rip that Band-Aid off. It's gonna hurt, yeah, but it'll be even faster than I can heal. You know what I mean? So complicated. It is complicated. 11. It's justice and tarot. And also it's the 2 high priestess, using your inner, your intuition, right? Tapping into that higher wisdom, let's say. It's very wise. The high priestess, male or female, is very wise. Very balanced between their dark and light, and you have to balance that out. If you're too light, no good. If you're too dark, no good, right? But you need both to be balanced. Same with your masculine and feminine. We have both within us, and we have to. If it's too masculine, not good. Too feminine, not good. We have to balance the both, okay? So it is complicated. Sometimes it's like I can't wrap my head around it. I don't want to think about it. It hurts. It hurts my brain. But once you're in it and you're actually doing this work, you start seeing things differently. You start feeling differently, and it's exciting and it's new. And it's exciting finding yourself. Know thyself. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, I didn't know I could feel it this way. Oh, I gotta go get some cards just a second. Sorry about that. I just had to get my deck of cards here. So, we'll see what this is. Rigid 30. Why is this here, please? Clarify rigid with Galactic Spirit. Why is this here? Rigid. What's this here? Thank you. Ooh, there's a thief here. 24 to 6 is lovers in tarot. This is somebody that you could have been or are in a relationship with. Could be a parting of ways. They could have gotten you into a third party situation as well, or a
That's so disgusting. Look at this guy. He's definitely started so young, right there on the right, and then on the left, that's him. Oh, and he and in other photos on the internet, it shows like his lashes where they flogged him. So you mean to tell me on some bullshit, white woman, that I should be grateful or that I should just try to grow from shit that's still repetitive that you bitches obviously don't know? It's not even like, oh, two rights don't even make a wrong, like two rights don't make a wrong, or when you know better, you do better. Consistently, consistently. This is not modern slavery 1. This is modern slavery 3. I mean, it's like 3 practically. Like you've disrespected people and you've continuously tried to oppress people. And you're just trying to find like new modern ways in order to do that, in order to execute that. It's like, how stupid are you? You're very stupid. Like a lot of you bitches are really very fucking stupid. But that's why I'm saying, like, no, you're not gonna be over here trying to like, project that shit onto me. You can't. This shit is just so fucking stupid and foul. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. And I think on my bingo tarot, I was that tarot bingo, I was talking about how they kept putting me in like this whole 3-way connection about a relationship with my abusers.
Party situation. Could be a false contract, whether it's in the ethers, the 3D, or both. But there's somebody in your circle here that's a thief, okay? Maybe you're building up some walls here, okay? I don't know. It's good to build up walls against people that are harmful, that don't mean you well. But you're using your higher wisdom here, okay? You're tapping into your higher wisdom. Maybe you thought this person was your higher level soulmate. Could very well be, but then
it's just, you're still talking about shit that's like so fucking old. That's almost 3 years old, bitch. Catch the fuck up. A lot of you bitches need to catch the fuck up. Y'all talking about some shit that's like 3 years fucking old. When I cut this dude off, it was donezo. I didn't even want to be his friend anymore. I wasn't in a relationship with him 3 years ago. I was literally just, in a moment where it was like, okay, look, we're at least friends. Like, we don't communicate all the time. In fact, I haven't even talked to you prior to that, probably for like a year or some shit. Actually more than that. Like maybe like 2018, 2019, maybe 2018. I would say a strong 2018. I have to confirm in my Facebook, but it's just like, yeah, it's 2018, 2019. I got because I like to be exact. So it's just like, yeah, it was donezo. It was fucking donezo. So why you keep why are you being so fucking toxic? Unless that's your fucking creed. That whole, the divine, the spirit kind of situation, that affiliation, that corporation underneath, that religion is toxic, is extremely toxic and self-serving. They want to involve me into a relationship with somebody who I don't want to be a part of. And they want to keep recycling this bullshit information because these bitches are capitalistic and opportunistic. Every single fucking day there's some type of like new commercial out there that's wanting to talk about any kind of like ailment or any kind of thing that I want to think about. Just a lot of bullshit that wants to go ahead and interrupt my life for their entertainment. And I wish immediate death on these people. We all fucking die, but it's just like, yo, you can definitely hurry up. In fact, I'll like, since you guys always want to scream like, oh, oppression Olympics, not acknowledging the bullshit that you do in order to go ahead and fuck up my life. It's just like, look, I will gladly step it aside and allow you to go ahead and end your life so that way you can go ahead and win oppression Olympics, like, or some shit. You feel me? Like, yo, definitely, step in these shoes if you want to win the award for oppression Olympics. Like, you guys sound really fucking stupid. I have no empathy for you bitches. I really have none.
If they're a thief and they're hurting you, they're going to lose their status. You're going to jail, or you're feeling
it's just
trapped. Either way, okay, it's not good. There's a rat here, okay? So they were working behind your back against you. All is not as it seems. And we have toil and labor, 38:11 again. Can't make this up. This is justice. Somebody's working hard to bring justice to a situation. Maybe it's your spirit team. Maybe it's you, somebody you're dealing with. Wow. Courthouse, can't make this up. You're dealing with an institution, a contract, a marriage, seeking some good advice. Wow. Maybe going for divorce. Could be in the reverse, You've had enough. Rigid. Why is this here? 33. goes down to a 3, and thief 24. Rigid 30, thief 24. Why is this here for the collective? Please help me understand where we're going, Fox. They think they're shrewd. So shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So this could be a business situation, a family situation, or love, okay? Could be a contract of some sort. It doesn't have to be love. But bottom of this deck, temporary situation. Somebody could be in jail for a short while. Maybe they want some bail. I don't know. So we have carriage, a journey either physical or mental. Bird flying, news is on the way. Ego, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Clouds, temporary problems. Everything's temporary in this world. Okay, so we have to keep.
Not fucking slavery. Not fucking slavery. But of course, white woman, you and your lemmings and your little, gang that is definitely speaking on behalf of people who are oppressed or people who are at a disadvantage, people who aren't privileged or people who are knocked down out of a privileged place. When you speak on behalf of us, not even experiencing or really even taking the time out to comprehend what the fuck that you're observing, you sound really fucking out of place. And you should have just shut the fuck up. You should have just sat there, been empathetic, sympathetic. No, sorry, not empathetic, because you can't. You should have just been there sympathetic. A lot of you could have been just empathetic and just been quiet. Or asked, been like, hey, look, how can I help you? Or actually help, because I make it pretty clear exactly what is it you can do in order to help me or assist me, but you chose not to. You rather do oh, you know what? Hey, look, I see that you're over here trying to tidy up this place. Let me help you. And the only thing that you do is maybe hang up a coat, and you're just like, woo, I'm tired. Or, hey, look, let me go ahead and fix you a glass of water. And I'm just like, okay, that's nice, but can you actually help me? Because if not, then you're kind of just going to be in a way. And they'll be like, no, I don't want to go. And then, and then they do the most to just be in your way. They want to just talk about their problems. Or they want you to be their soundboard or something like that. They want to inconvenience you. And I've seen it a lot of times, especially when I used to work on some simple shit. I used to work every Saturday morning in the yard to just clean up the yard in the mornings, to just make sure I had the grass cut low. And people would just happen to see me and want to try to strike up a conversation. I'm like, I'm trying to do this and beat the summer sun before it gets up really high and hot. And you rather just sit there and try to have a conversation with me, not even offer to help or anything, but you just really want to shoot the breeze. I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm not fucking here for that. Where the fuck are you any other time when I'm literally either, dressed up or anything like that? I'm over here ratty-tatty and literally got, sweats on, the old sweats and the old shirt. And I'm sweating and shit. Why are you over here inconveniencing me? And that's when I knew. That's when I knew about people's character. A lot of people's character. I was like, yeah, no. We're not doing this. I'm like, okay, well, look, unless you're helping me, you gotta go. And I will literally say that, legit. I'm like, look, unless you're helping me, you gotta go. You gotta go. So, and it's this. It's just you're not really here to help me. You're not really here to help me. You're here to be a nuisance. You're the kind of person who will literally fuck up somebody's life in order to look like you want to help. There was a TV show. It was called, I think it was Drop Dead Diva. It was a plus size lawyer. And one of the episodes, there was this guy, and there was this guy, dark hair. He was setting fires to different types of buildings because he wanted to be seen as the hero. And he got caught because basically, that was illegal. So, but it wasn't for anything justifiable. He wanted to do it so that way he can try to save people. And it was just he almost got those people killed. There was no vendetta or anything like that. It wasn't okay, you slain my family, I'm coming after you, that kind of situation. Something like that, unjustly, you did this to me and now I'm coming up for you. It wasn't anything, it wasn't anything that was Russell Crowe Gladiator kind of situations. You feel me? No, it was just literally this guy who had some warped kind of fantasy where he wanted to try to play a hero, and he fucked up somebody's life to the point where it was just okay, well, eventually, you're gonna come back to me, or I'm gonna come to you and look like, you know, I can save you from this. And it's just, it's crazy because it's nearly to the brink of death that this person was willing to go in order to seem like a fucking hero. Ain't. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Redunculous, fucking dunculous. I can't. And these people are like no better. They rather like come into my life, fuck up things in the background, and then be like, okay, well then, you know, maybe you should go ahead and go to these resources where you can try to go to therapy, and then you can go to like your librarian and find out things where you can learn about, you know, be cognizant of like, you know, your actions and things of that nature. Like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Like, you were literally one of the fucking accomplices that are over here messing up with my life. You are doing no better by over here being like a reminder, a fucking like, you know, monkey on my shoulder trying to tell me like, "Ooh, don't do that, don't do that, that's too much. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have that much sugar." Ooh, about the simple shit, the simplest shit. There's so many other people that's out there, homeless people and shit like that, and yet you rather be up in my business to be a fucking bitch and just fuck up the game when it comes to like, you know, humanity, the whole performative humanity, the whole performative of liberty and freedom and justice. Oh my goodness, slavery is over, except for people who, you know, have broken a fucking law, you know, initially, you know, were the first to do it. But no, no, funny, funny, funny.
That in mind. How I got through some of my toughest moments was
Oh, some of your toughest moments, I'm pretty sure probably the mom, single mom, raising, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of that shit that you've done was either, you know, probably a lot of the shit that you survived was something that was no doubt self-afflicted. It wasn't like, you know, you were born into a horrible ass family with and you decided to cut them off, or that you cut off people who decided to immerse themselves into into your life, and then when you were hipped into the game you cut them off, that you actually had to go against the government and people in the whole fucking world in order to still be in your fucking business, who are going to gaslight you and then try to diminish your fucking story or what your abuses, and tell you like, oh, get over it, or it's not that it's not that big of a deal. You're not saying these stories in order to sound like, you know, relatable or empathetic. You're really just trying to silence mine. You're trying to minimize my fucking strife of what I'm still going through, because you're able to still see exactly what the fuck it is I'm going on in my house. You're still watching me naked. You're still over here trying to criticize every little fucking thing that I do underneath the sun. You're not a help. You're a hindrance. There's nothing valuable about you bitches. There's nothing fucking valuable about you bitches. You're a hindrance. Like I said, like, you know, your death will definitely, you guys, like, seriously, once you guys shut up or be shut up, excuse me, when you guys like either shut your mouths or get shut up, the world will definitely be a lot better. A lot better. There will never be a moment where you can say like, oh yeah, Shalice offed herself or like, you know, committed suicide. It's just like, no, I love myself too much, and I definitely want to see you guys donezo. I mean, we all die eventually, but it's just like, I'd rather see you guys donezo. So I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to make like an accident or try to send me somewhere, because like, according to these passive ass threats, I've seen that you guys are trying to make me go into like, you know, a hospital or try to end me. But it's just like, none of that is going to make me want to be compliant. Even if you, or prison, you're going to try to like throw it in my face, be like, okay, well, we'll let you out or do something like this if you go ahead and like, you know, get over it and follow the rules. Not without justice, bitch. Not without fucking justice. You know exactly what the fuck you did, all of you. And that's what's so fucking sick about it. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
didn't know if I was going to eat the next day or where I was going to live. You know, really tough moments.
Yes, truly. Because those moments where you actually have resources, like going to government, you know, for like, you know, food stamps, or even if you can't afford food stamps anymore, you can go to food shelters and they will give you food easy. I have, you know, those are resources that I'm quite aware of because I used to volunteer and help out with those. I used to help out and volunteer for the soup kitchen. I used to help out and volunteer for when I was a debutante, I used to give out food and do those kind of things like that. And even afterwards, I would donate food and things of that nature. So like I'm aware, and I'm always a resourceful person where I could have known exactly where it is to go for those kind of things if I needed, like financial assistance in regards to that. But how, bitch, are you trying to literally compare that to oppression? Where even if I have this, okay, here's the thing. I have food, right? If I have too much food, I have to carry that shit with me everywhere I fucking go. And I have to carry it hopefully in a very um in a very equipped thermal bag, or else it's going to spoil. And I either have to throw it away. No, I have to throw it away. Sometimes, I mean, if it was depending on what it is, like I would eat it depending on if it's not something that's like super perishable. Um, but other than that, like I'd have to throw it away. Like let's not talk about shit that you don't experience, okay? Let's not try to say like, oh, there's some times when I didn't know when I was going to eat, and it's just like, okay, there that you can't compare that to the government literally trying to sell, no, not trying to, but the government over here selling your body online without your permission, and then having people at fucking like a Honda dealership acting and pretending like they don't know you, but being really fucking creepy and playing around with your time. So there's just so that they can fuck with you. Just so they can fuck with you and your time and just waste your entire fucking day. Well, most of your fucking day. Try to insult your fucking intelligence. Where you have a lazy ass department department head of a certain type of school, fuck with your time and possibly some of your money when it comes to like having to repeat grades and I'm not repeat grades, repeat classes and shit, because they know goddamn well that they see my emails and they have not replied back since in regards to I don't want to repeat another class. Like I've already taken these classes at another college, so I don't want to have to waste my fucking time or money, whether it's free or not. But I mean, I would still have to buy some books, so that's my money. And then I have to buy gas in order to take me to these classes, because some of these classes aren't online, and some of them also aren't hybrid. So I have to actually go there. But no, because the government wants to fuck around and try to dictate my life with you bitches. Like, how are you comparing your minuscule bullshit ass situations? I mean, like at a point in time, I really was very sympathetic to a lot of you bitches, though. But as soon as you show me exactly the lack of respect that you have for me, why the fuck should I have any respect for you? I don't. I don't. I don't give a fuck about when you were at a struggling situation where oh my god, I don't know when I'm gonna have another Krispy Kreme again, or some type of dumb shit like that. No, get the fuck out of here. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. That's why I laughed so much at the January 6th situation, where it's just like, you were calling people during the riot thugs, but then you were calling the same people that were doing the most and using artillery weapons patriots. It's just, white people. What the fuck? Wake the fuck up. Seriously. It's not even on a woke kind of scenario. It's just a common sense kind of scenario. You over here boasting about where you fucking graduated from, but it just seems like, when you talk about like, 2+2, it's just like you're stammering. Like, what the fuck? It reminds me of that movie, Curly Sue, and I really like that movie, Curly Sue. And it was just like the girl, she could spell like, certain big words, but she couldn't spell the word cat. And it's just like, oh my God, like that's literally how white people are on a lot of shit. A lot of white people. I may not have to say all white people, but like, you know what? You really know how it is when you show your ass. In fact, you know what? I gotta say, not for nothing though, but I've seen it from black people too. I've seen it black people too. Like black people, you have literally been up in the white man's ass. Definitely cherry picking a lot of kind of situations that they have done to our lineage, to our ancestry, and you just know better. You just know better. It's fucking pathetic, bro. It's really fucking pathetic. But here we go. Like, you're over here. You're like, y'all really be fucking on one.
And I just kept thinking to myself, a year from now, I'm going to be in a better place. I couldn't imagine where I was going to be, but I imagined myself a year from that moment, looking back and going, "Phew, that I got through that." You know.
Oh my goodness. You know, back in the 1800s, I'm pretty sure. Let's just say something. Because I mean, oh man, oh man. I don't know. I don't know, but I know. I'm pretty sure homeboy right here was thinking, oh man, a year from now, a year from now, a year from now. You know, it's just it's that kind of ignorance. It's that kind of ignorance, white people. Because it's been almost 20 years now. You feel me? Like, you just sound really like stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna use that phrase now. Spell cat. Spell cat. It's like it's Curly Sue. No, because you're not as affable and adorable as that little girl. Seriously, but it's just like you guys are really just struggling with 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2.
I mean, yay. So, Pen, new job or career, congratulations.
I don't like being grateful or trying to take in things that have not actually manifested. Can you imagine actually getting the job? In fact, there's been quite a few stories about people, even celebrities celebrities and just basic people too, where they've gotten the job and then all of a sudden something had fell through. I'm like, oh, you were hired, but unfortunately, something had fell through where you actually can't acquire it. So for you guys to try to tell me to be grateful for shit that hasn't manifested and haven't materialized yet, you sound really fucking stupid. And then you want to try to blame me on situations where it's just like, okay, well then, hey, maybe you want to go ahead and try to save that money and things of that nature. And it's just like, well, I thought you had said. See, this is why it shows that you guys are distrusting, not distrusting, but you guys can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. I don't consider you guys ones to go to for advisement or counsel. It's just like, what is the tea that you are allowed to do? What is the information that massa is allowed for you to know? And then share it with me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of you people just don't have the cojones in order to fucking get there. I do respect the people that do. Okay, I really do. I really do respect the people that do. But for the other ones who are over here trying to victim blame and project onto me, it's just like you're looking really fucking stupid. And I have to call it out for what it is. I can't even go throughout this entire video because I just know that it's a whole bunch of like bullshit ass situations where you're trying to project and just going to sound stupid. So I rather not have to. It's already 2 hours. I don't want to go into this any further. But yeah, just know that I've got some other priorities to go look into. And honestly, you guys aren't I was gonna say aren't as important as you think, but you guys aren't important at all to want to keep doing this. And you laughed at it thinking that I wasn't serious though, but you laughed at some other things thinking I wasn't serious, and then you were like, oh shit, she's serious. Why did you ever think that? It's really fucked up on your part, but that's for another like I told you so day.